Hello there. This is your movie theater explorer, Brent here. And today I just wanted to talk about a few different things, obviously movie related. The big thing we'll start off with is I mean, it's been a couple of months, and I have seen quite a few movies in the last couple of months. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through the ones that I've got to see in theaters, and I'll talk about mainly where I saw them at, and I mean if there's a special premium format that I went to go see them in, and all that. And if it was just a regular theater, I'll let you know. And anyway, so yeah, let's start. The first one I'll start off with is the Phoenician Scheme. That's the new one by Wes Anderson. And so I just saw it in a regular theater. I saw it at a Cinemark that is near me. And so here are my thoughts. I actually enjoyed it. It was definitely it was definitely a very quirky movie. It'd been a couple months since I've seen it at this point, or a month and maybe about a month and a half at this point. But yeah, it was definitely a very quirky movie. If you've seen a lot of his other movies, Fantastic Mr. Fox or Moonrise Kingdom and all that, then you probably get the idea of what kind of style he goes for. So that it's just very distinct. There's a very different um, style to how his movies are done, and just it's definitely a very unique approach to a lot of to his movies, and he obviously sticks with how he does his movies. And honestly, I definitely got a kick out of it. It's not. I don't watch a lot of his movies. I think I've seen a few of them, and there's definitely quite a few good movies of his. Um, but yeah, but still, I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. It's one of those that I pretty much on my Facebook page that I said that, hey, if you are a fan of Wes Anderson movies, I think you'll get a kick out of this, and I do recommend it. And I do. I think it's a fun time. The next one was the How to Train Your Dragon, the live action remake. So I got to see this a day before it was released. And what I mean a day before, like usually movies come out the night before the Friday, usually on Thursday night when they do their opening showings. Um, Obviously, they continue to increase the time or pull back the times a little bit. Usually, I mean, about 20ish years ago, used to be like midnight showings where they do a lot of their opening showings, mainly for the big blockbuster movies and the ones that are like the fans would get really hyped up for. Obviously, then I think I do remember about 15-ish years ago. I do remember for a lot of the any new movie whatsoever, even like ones that weren't like the big fan based ones, would get a midnight showing like at a Cinemark. I just remember going through my local show times when I looked things up, and I would see that. So I got to see Brave at a midnight showing, and I don't think Brave from Pixar was one that people were like, we got to go to the midnight showing for. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked, but obviously things happened, and obviously they pushed it from midnight to about 7 o'clock on Thursday night, and then about 2 o'clock. So anyway, the reason I say this, that I say the day before wasn't on a Thursday, it was actually on a Wednesday. Wednesday, June 11th, I believe. They were doing some premium showings. So I went to the IMAX showing to go see this movie so I could have the experience beforehand and just be able to gather my thoughts. And I was definitely really impressed with the movie, honestly. So How to Train Your Dragon, the live action remake. So it's basically the 2010 animated version. Um, it does have a lot of that same feel. They do make some adjustments to it, and I think those adjustments actually work pretty good. So obviously, I'm still a fan of the original animated one. That's a classic to me. It surprised me in so many ways. But this one honestly surprised me in so many ways as well. So, and this is one I actually do. If it's still playing in theaters, I do recommend checking it out. If you haven't yet. But yeah, seeing it in IMAX was great. Especially a lot of the flight sequences felt very immersive, and the music and all that was great. I mean, the music's basically um, fairly, I will say, very much identical to the original. It's the same composer, so and you can kind of tell like from how it's done. It's like it's a director basically putting a live action skin on it. But again, it just I I I think I had a lot of problems with some of those, like watching some Disney live action remakes, just feeling like I've seen it all before and it's nothing really new. And for some reason, this one just stood out to me. It's just like, hey, you know what? I for some reason I think because it's the same director, same composer, a lot of Gerard Butler came back as Stoic. So and yeah, just for some reason, this is one that I was just like, I know this is basically the same thing I've already seen, but it's just still good, and I appreciated it. So yeah, I still recommend checking it out. I saw it in IMAX, and IMAX was great about it. And then I saw Elio, um, and I really liked Elio. I know a lot of people were not a fan of this one. Um, I think maybe I missed the full criticisms. I think maybe I can kind of understand some of those problems, but I think for me, I was able to just I think it hit the right notes for me, and I was able to just appreciate it and just enjoy it. So, and I did like the story. I gotta admit, I kind of did like the ants story. Obviously, her trying to raise a child when both Elio's parents are gone. You find out about this at the beginning of the movie, and I apologize if I spoil something, but it's something you find out very early at the beginning of the movie. So, and um, so yeah, I saw I've seen a couple of theaters, one at a local, one at the Cinemark opening night, and then one with a few friends a little bit after. Like the day, I think the day after, I went again with a few friends, and we went to a local theater nearby. So, and again, it was really cool both times watching it. I also saw F1. I've I actually got to see it. I went to see it three times in IMAX, and the first time I went was opening the a few days before it came out. They were doing a special IMAX showing for it in a bunch of theaters nearby. So I bought a ticket. There was an I'm like I have a few IMAX theaters in my state, and I went to one that was just a little bit further as they were playing it there, and it was definitely great. Just the obviously the picture was expanded all the way through, but also the sound was incredibly immersive, and it just felt like I mean their sequences felt like it was in the cockpit, and other moments just feeling those sound like the the race cars going forward and all that, and all the music and all that was just fantastic. So this was definitely like honestly, if it's still playing in your local theater, I strongly encourage still seeing it. I mean, of course, I would say I do have a big. I really like IMAX a lot, but it's still one of those I would strongly encourage seeing in a big screen whatsoever. So if you haven't seen it yet, I still encourage going to the theater to see it. This is a movie that um, is a great theater going experience. And I do remember one of the sequences, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. Um, there's a sequence during the first, probably the first within. It's definitely within the first hour of the movie. I would say that this happens, and when this moment happens, there is a big gasp from the audience. Um, you guys may know what it is. Um, I can discuss it if you guys are not sure. But anyway, but I won't spoil it here. So, but still, if you haven't seen it, go out and see it. I still highly encourage seeing it. Also got to see Megan 2.0. I saw it at a Cinemark nearby, and I enjoyed the first one. So it's been a very long time. I think it's been a couple of years since I've seen the first one. I saw it a couple once in theaters, and I watched it streaming with a few friends. Um, so I went with one of my friends who was very passionate about enjoyed the first Megan movie, and she wanted to see the second one. So I joined her and a few other friends, and and honestly, I think I kind of went in expecting like it to be like a little more over the top, a lot different than what the first one was, and yeah, it definitely was, and it's definitely way more cartoony. It was. I talked to people. I think I described in my Facebook page that it felt like a Saturday morning cartoon, and yeah, that's exactly what the movie was like. It was like a big Saturday morning cartoon. It was just over the top in a lot of areas and all that. So, um, honestly, I think because I kind of didn't expect a whole lot out of it, I just expected just to have a fun time, and that's exactly what I got. I got a really fun time. Not something that I'm like jumping up and down to watch over and over and over again. I'd see it again. So I'll say that. I'd see it again. It was definitely that fun. It was definitely that ridiculous, and I was laughing many times throughout the movie. And I mean, I think there was even a part where I just was constantly laughing for about a good number of minutes. So yeah, it was definitely it was a definitely ridiculous fun time. So I know a lot of people didn't like it because it went a different direction. I get it, and I don't blame you for that. But yeah, I had a fun time. So I would say, let's see, how would I? I think I'd describe if you enjoyed the Megan movie, but you're okay with them going like a really absurd, over the top tone. I'd say check it out. That's how I would describe it. I also saw Jurassic World Rebirth. I saw it in a Cinemark XD theater, so they didn't play it in IMAX because F1 had the IMAX theaters. So they played it in other premium screens, which I've Cinemark XD's. I really like Cinemark XD as well, and so I went to go see it that way. And honestly, I didn't really have many expectations going into it. I obviously the first Jurassic Park movie is a classic. I don't know how to describe all the other ones. I kind of did a personal ranking one time, but I enjoyed the new dress from the new Jurassic World trilogy. I enjoyed the first one of that. The second one I didn't really care for. And then Jurassic World Dominion. I actually had a fun time with Jurassic World Dominion, but I didn't have any. I didn't go and say like, oh, this was just amazing or anything. Like obviously it wasn't amazing. Um, it was entertaining for me. I haven't seen it since though, so I think if I were to rewatch it, would I be like, oh, this is like a complete bad movie, or this is just, hey, you know what, still fun. It is whatever. Again, it's been a while since I've watched it. But so I didn't really have high expectations to go into this one, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Um, I think some people have said this, and I tend to agree. It felt like Jurassic Park 3, which I actually do like. I do like Jurassic Park 3. It's very short. It goes in, it's just like, hey, just go in with a premise, put some dinosaurs in it, and leave. And I enjoyed some of those aspects of it, like yeah, seeing Sam Neill come back as Dr. Alan Grant was great, and the I'm talking about Jurassic Park 3, not Jurassic World Rebirth, just to make it clear. This is Jurassic Park 3 with Sam Neill coming back and everything. Um, and obviously some of the dinosaur action was kind of fun. Oh man, why can't I? The pterodactyl cage and all that was definitely fun. Um, anyway, so Jurassic World Rebirth felt a lot like Jurassic Park 3, and just because they had a premise is just like, hey, we're going to this island to collect things from dinosaurs and get out. And so you get some dinosaur action and some good moments, and I enjoyed a lot of those moments. So and I have to admit, I actually enjoyed the music a lot more than I thought I would. I don't think I had a lot of expectations for it. And it's always good to hear a classical score like that. So yeah, I saw that Cinemark XD. I still recommend checking it out. I still think it's a fun time in the movie. So especially if you enjoyed the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies, and you're not expecting a whole lot, I would say just go and have a fun time, even on a discount day. I saw Superman, the one that's jump starting a brand new universe for the DC characters. So the DC universe or DCU, I think is what it's called. So DC Universe. So I saw Superman in IMAX, and and definitely a great experience. I definitely really liked the movie. I thought it was a very good movie. It's definitely like it definitely has a lot more comic book tones to it, and has a good story, like just maintaining hope and all that. And what I like, it does focuses on Superman, but it just to let you guys know, this is not like another origin movie. It's not like, hey, we're telling the whole story Superman again, or the origin story Superman again. It's more like a you kind of get an idea of like how it all goes, or how he is, and they kind of just throw you in like within, like, I think a couple of years from when he started as Superman. I think it was a couple of years, and there's definitely a lot of great moments in it. And yeah, definitely a lot. Like the visuals were great, and also I do like the elements they introduced to show the bigger, wider um, DC universe. So I recommend checking this one out if you haven't seen it yet. It's just a really good movie. So um, and especially if you're a fan of comic book movies and you're very curious on the DC universe, I recommend checking this one out. So highly recommend it. So yeah, go see if you haven't yet. Another one I just barely saw was Fantastic Four. Um, so Fantastic Four: The First Steps, to be more exact. Um, I've enjoyed the other. I obviously have been a fan of the MCU from the Infinity Saga, for sure, and then Multiverse Saga. I've still enjoyed it. Maybe it's not been as easy for me to want to go back and rewatch all these, but there's definitely a few that here and there that I'm like, I mean, some that are actually quite good. Shang-Chi and um, Spider-Man: No Way Home. I okay, I have to put this one on as asterisk. It's a great movie, but it's a hard one for me to rewatch. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It is a great movie, but it's definitely hard for me to rewatch, and um yeah, just the elements that they introduce into it with most animal torture. Just I think was a little bit, but it's been a while since I've seen it. I kind of want to rewatch it now. Especially James Gunn directed Superman recently. Kind of want to rewatch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Anyway, there's a lot of other ones. Here's the thing. I've still enjoyed all the movies we got. Obviously, there's a bunch of like, hey, I enjoyed it. I know why people didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it just because, like, hey, it was just a fun experience for me. I maybe, yeah, just kind of just went and enjoyed a lot of these ones. So obviously, a lot of them I enjoyed more than others. There's some that, hey, I still enjoyed. Not too crazy about them, but I still enjoyed them. Anyway, for this year, I've enjoyed a lot more. I actually did enjoy Captain America: Brave New World. It was one that, I mean, it's problematic. I'm not gonna beat around the bush with it. I'm not gonna convince you otherwise, because I can't do that. It's problematic. There's a lot of issues, and I could tell when I rewatched it. I'm like, I rewatched it a second time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could tell like they were trying to make it work, and just a lot of things that have come up. I can't go through how it all the issues and all that. I it just went through a lot of work, and but I mean, hey, I for what we got, it was still enjoyable. I had a really fun time watching Captain America: Brave New World, so I still enjoyed it, and I do want to rewatch it at some point. Um, Thunderbolts, really good movie. I really liked it. Um, and definitely just a really good story. And just and I liked how they dealt with the third act, the final boss. So, or the villain, the main villain, the final battle, basically, how that all unfolded, and I really liked that. Um, so anyway, but honestly, yeah. So Thunderbolts felt like a really really good movie, and then so, but yeah, Fantastic Four was definitely my most anticipated out of all those three. I was very curious on it, and then I went to go see it, and yeah, I mean, first off, pun intended, it was fantastic. So, um, yeah, I really liked. Uh, I thought Fantastic Four was the first steps was great. Um, all the other Fantastic Four movies. The first two I kind of enjoyed. The reboot from 2015, not so much, but had some potential good elements that I enjoyed, but didn't come together great as a whole. Anyway, but this one definitely was definitely exceeded all those. Not just clearing the ladder, but skyrocketing way past it. So um, I thought this was a great movie. The characters were great and well written, and I really liked the story we got, and I really liked the design of the world is always great, and where we went with things was definitely very engaging. And it was definitely like, hey, I liked seeing how everything unfolded and some of those good hopeful elements and everything. But yeah, just and I experienced this one in IMAX as well, and the IMAX was great. It was as the screen expanded throughout the whole movie, so it was basically yeah, it filled the entire IMAX screen and it was great. Um, so yeah, I strongly like if you're a fan of the MCU, I consider this a must see. I also do want to add that my friend pointed this out later, but it was also one of those like it felt like an MCU movie that I could just go in and enjoy without feeling like I have to worry about everything that happened beforehand. So, and I thought that was great. So definitely, I it's definitely must see for MCU fans, and I would say definitely recommend for anyone just wanting a great comic book movie. So yeah, so those are the ones I've seen thus far this month, and I've oh yeah, I also wanted to touch on I also got to experience Hook in a nearby movie theater. I went to a local theater nearby, and they were playing it as kind of like a um, throwback to previous years, and so they played Hook, and I never like I've seen Hook a lot of times as a kid. I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through in one sitting. Maybe I have at one point, but so I decided to go see it and get to experience this in the movie theater was great. And yeah, it was definitely a great experience. First off, experiencing John Williams' score in this theater, in a movie theater, was great. Like it felt very immersive. And then just seeing all the practical details of all these sets and everything was great. So, yeah, I'm definitely glad I got to see Hook in a movie, to experience Hook in a movie theater. So I just wanted to touch on that. Something I did actually want to touch on. Speaking about experiencing things in movie theaters. So one thing they've done, a couple of the directors this month decided to, hey, make their so they've got a couple of movies. One's coming out in December. One's coming out next July, and they decided like, hey, we want our trailers, our teasers to be experienced in a movie theater first. We don't want to put them online. Um, so those, and obviously those ones, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which comes out in July. So I saw that. I got to experience that one right before Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay, so I gotta be honest. I'm usually one of those. I just show up like, even if I show up probably within the first few minutes during the trailers are playing. I'm usually not as focused during the trailers these days, though there are some really good trailers here and there. And I mean, I've not been the biggest fan of trailers in this era, but once in a while you get some good trailers. To be honest. Anyway, so but this is one that I made sure I got to the movies before the showtime started. So realizing I'll sit through commercials. Like some movies, some theaters will play a few commercials, some more than others. Um, but yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna sit through all this because I really want. I'm very excited to experience this trailer in a theater. So I got there early for Jurassic World Rebirth, and it was the very last trailer that played right through all the intro promos before they play the movie. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, wait, why are we getting one more trailer? And but anyway, so but we get the Odyssey, which I was so excited to see, and It's only a minute long. It's not that long. It doesn't really. It reveals enough to kind of give you the feel of this world and everything like that. So, but it was definitely great. That's for sure. um, yeah, I was. It was definitely a great teaser, just enough to get the feel to get me pumped for the movie next year. And I think they put the tickets on sale for the 70 millimeter print for some of the theaters, or I don't know if it's some of the, or how that's all going to work. I didn't buy any yet. I'm keeping a gauge on all that, but but regardless, I'm excited to see that. So, but yeah, that was still a cool one. And the next one, I also did play that one in front of Superman, by the way. So I got to experience that in an IMAX as well as Cinemark XD. So anyway, that's the Odyssey for Christopher Nolan next July. The next one was Avatar: Fire and Ash. This was right in front of Fantastic Four. So and they played it right after all the main trailers and all that, and after all when they're about to do the showtime. So then they attached this trailer right before the movie, and so and it was definitely incredibly immersive. It definitely felt beautiful, amazing, um, and definitely like it was definitely a lot. It was definitely longer. Showed more than the Odyssey did. There was I'm trying to think how to describe a lot of it, but regardless, I it was definitely great. It was definitely great to experience this trailer in a movie theater, though. So, um, and obviously, I can't wait for Avatar: Fire and Ash. I enjoyed the other two movies. I do remember seeing the first one in 3D at a Carmike theater back in 2009, and I was working at the time. Um, and then I remember seeing the Avatar: The Way of Water in the IMAX theater, IMAX 3D to be exact. I also did get to experience it in Screen X. That was my first time experiencing a movie in Screen X. I've experienced at least three movies in Screen X thus far. I don't have one too close to me, so I don't go a whole lot, but I got to check this one out. And yeah, but anyway, but yeah, I really like both movies, and this one looks like, hey, it could go like some pretty darker tones, and I'm excited to see where it all goes. I do want to, I'm going again to Fantastic Four in a few days, so I'll definitely be, definitely excited to see this trailer again for sure. I'm pretty sure, my understanding is it's probably going to drop online probably sometime next week. They are probably just like, we want to make experience in a theater the first way to see it. Um, and to be honest, I feel like this is a great way to see trailers for the first time. A lot of them, and I'm one of those that does it as well. I watch a lot of these trailers online. I just watch them sometimes on my phone. I usually put them on. These days, I try to put them on in my like my little home theater, um, just to more properly experience it. I've yeah. So and that's how I'm trying to do it these days, because it just you kind of get more of the feel of how it's created. So, but yeah, experiencing a movie theater is you're more experiencing how it's going to be in a movie theater, not just like a what the movie's going to be, and that's obviously important. What story you're going to get. So anyway, but yeah, those are some of those things. I've also I'll just touch briefly. I watched a few movies on 4K. I'll probably, you know what, I'm going to leave that for a topic another day. I've gotten a few movies on 4K recently. I'm going to try to record another episode in the next couple of weeks to try to discuss some of these things. But but yeah, but yeah, hopefully I gave you some good recommendations, and that yeah, hopefully you get to even if you or even a few ideas. There's a few coming out the rest of the summer. I'm I'm looking forward to seeing The Naked Gun. So I'm planning to see that sometime soon when that comes out. Um, I'll have to see what else is coming out before the end of the summer, but regardless, yeah. So hopefully you hopefully gave you some good recommendations. Thank you for spending some time with me. And this again, Brent, your movie theater explorer. Go explore your local theater and or your nearby theater to have a great movie going experience. Thank you.